Imagine a time long, long ago. A time before books, before computers, before the words you are reading now. How did people write things down? In ancient Egypt, around 3000 BCE, they used pictures. We call these pictures hieroglyphics. Each picture could be a whole idea, like a bird, the sun, or a person walking. They carved these beautiful symbols onto the walls of their temples and tombs. It was a complex system. It told the stories of pharaohs and gods. This was one of the very first ways humans recorded their thoughts for the future. It was a visual language, a story told in stone for all to see. At the same time, on another part of our planet, a different story was unfolding. In ancient China, around 1300 BCE, another form of writing was born. This was the oracle bone script. Kings and priests would write questions on turtle shells or animal bones. They would ask about the future, about harvests, or about battles. Then, they would heat the bones until they cracked. The patterns of the cracks were believed to hold the answers from the gods. The characters they carved were the ancestors of Chinese writing today. Like hieroglyphics, they started as pictures representing real-world objects and ideas. These two ancient systems, born thousands of miles apart, began two incredible journeys. They were like the first sparks of a great fire of communication. The Egyptian hieroglyphics held the seeds of an alphabet, a system where symbols represent sounds. This idea would travel far and wide, changing as it went. It was a revolutionary concept that would reshape how humanity communicates. It simplified writing, making it accessible to more people than just the highly trained scribes who could master the complex art of hieroglyphs. This was the start of a long, winding road for written language in the West. Meanwhile, the oracle bone script in China also began its own path of evolution. It was a system built not on sounds but on meanings. Each character was a complete concept. This system would grow and change within China for centuries. It became more stylized, more abstract, but the core idea remained the same. It would influence the entire East Asian region, creating a family of writing systems that looked very different from the alphabets of the West. Both of these starting points, one in Africa and one in Asia, were monumental achievements for our species. They were our first steps in conquering time and distance with written words. The story of the alphabet begins in the deserts of the Sinai Peninsula. Around 1850 BCE, workers in Egyptian turquoise mines saw the complex hieroglyphics. They needed a simpler way to write their own Semitic language. So they borrowed some of the Egyptian pictures but used them in a new way. Instead of a picture meaning a whole word, it now stood for just the first sound of that word. For example, the hieroglyph for water, or in their language, became the sign for the M sound. This was the Proto-Sinaitic script, the first known alphabet. It was a brilliant simplification, a true game-changer in the history of information. This new idea, one symbol for one sound, was powerful. It began to travel. It was carried by traders and travelers across the Middle East. Around 1050 BCE, it reached the shores of the Mediterranean, where a great seafaring people lived. These were the Phoenicians. They were master traders, sailing their ships to distant lands. They took the Proto-Sinaitic script and refined it. They created a simple, consistent set of 22 symbols. This was the Phoenician alphabet. It was easy to learn, easy to write, and perfect for keeping records of their vast trading empire. The Phoenician alphabet was a major leap forward. Because it was so simple and efficient, it spread like wildfire. The Phoenicians sailed everywhere, and they took their writing system with them. It became the foundation for many other scripts. The ancient Greeks would adopt it, adding symbols for vowel sounds and creating the Greek alphabet. The Romans, in turn, would adapt the Greek alphabet to create the Latin alphabet, which is the one used to write English today. The journey of these letters is a testament to the power of a good idea, traveling across cultures and continents. While this was happening, the writing system in China was on its own distinct journey. The oracle bone script slowly changed. As the Shang dynasty gave way to the Zhou dynasty, people started casting inscriptions on bronze vessels. This led to the bronze script, which was more rounded and regular than the sharp carvings on bone. Later, during the Qin dynasty, the script was standardized into the seal script, which was elegant and formal. Then came the clerical script, a simpler, faster version used by government clerks. Each step was a refinement, making the characters easier to write and read. But the system remained logographic, based on characters representing words, not sounds. Let's follow the path of the Phoenician alphabet in the Middle East. One of its most important descendants was the Aramaic script, which appeared around 800 BCE. Aramaic became the common language and script of vast empires, including the Babylonian and Persian empires. It was the language of diplomacy and trade across the region. Because it was so widespread, the Aramaic script itself began to change, adapting to the needs of different peoples and languages. It was like a great river splitting into many smaller streams, each carving its own path through the landscape of human culture. One of these streams flowed south into the Arabian Peninsula. Here, a group of people called the Nabateans lived. They were traders who built the magnificent city of Petra, carved directly into red rock cliffs. The Nabateans adopted the Aramaic script to write their own language. Over time, their version of the script became more flowing and cursive. The letters started to connect to each other, making it faster to write. By around 500 AD, this Nabatean script had evolved into something new and distinct. This was the birth of the Arabic script, a beautiful cursive writing system perfectly suited for writing with a reed pen on papyrus or paper. The Arabic script quickly became intertwined with the rise of Islam. It was the script used to write the Quran, the holy book of Islam. As the religion spread from the Arabian Peninsula across the Middle East, North Africa and beyond, the script traveled with it. Soon it was being used to write not only Arabic, but also many other languages like Persian, Urdu and Ottoman Turkish. The script became a unifying cultural force, connecting diverse peoples across a vast part of the world. Its elegant flowing lines became a hallmark of art, architecture and literature throughout the Islamic world. On the other side of the world, Chinese characters continued their own evolution. The clerical script eventually led to the regular script, also known as Kaishu, around 200 AD. This is the standard form of Chinese writing that is still used today. It is clear, balanced, and elegant. For centuries, China's powerful culture influenced its neighbors, including Japan. The Japanese did not have their own writing system. So, starting around the 5th century AD, they began to borrow Chinese characters, which they called kanji. At first they used them just to write Chinese, but soon they started using them to write their own Japanese language. The story of Japanese writing is a fascinating tale of adaptation. The Japanese language is very different from Chinese. Using only Chinese characters or kanji, to write it was clumsy and difficult. So, around 850 AD, the Japanese did something clever. They took certain kanji and simplified them to represent sounds, much like the ancient people of Sinai had done with hieroglyphs. This created two new native Japanese scripts, hiragana and katakana. Hiragana is flowing and cursive, used for grammatical particles and native Japanese words. Katakana is more angular and is used for foreign loanwords and emphasis. Today, the Japanese writing system is a unique hybrid. It uses three scripts all at once. It uses kanji, the borrowed Chinese characters for the core ideas and nouns. It uses hiragana for the grammatical parts of sentences that connect the kanji. And it uses katakana for words from other languages like computer or Tyson. This complex layered system allows for a great deal of nuance and expression. Just as the Arabic script was adapted for other languages, the Japanese script system has also been used historically to write other languages like Ainu and Taiwanese Hokkien, showing its flexibility. So now we have these two great writing traditions, born from different ancient sources. The Arabic script is an alphabet. It is part of the Semitic family of scripts that all trace their lineage back to those miners in the Sinai Desert. Its 28 letters primarily represent consonants, and its cursive, connected nature makes it one of the most recognizable scripts on Earth. It is the official script in over 25 countries, and is a symbol of a rich cultural and religious heritage that spans continents. It is a testament to the journey of an idea, from a picture of water to the letter M. In contrast, the Japanese script is a mix. It is part logographic kanji and part syllabic hiragana and katakana, where each symbol represents a syllable like ka or tu. Its roots lie in the oracle bones of ancient China. Today it stands as a prime example of cultural borrowing and innovation. Both Arabic and Japanese writing systems show us the incredible creativity of the human mind. They are living histories, connecting billions of people today to their ancient ancestors through the simple, powerful act of making marks on a surface. From pictures on stone and cracks in bone, we built worlds of words.